Now obviously NBA 2K has been the king of basketball games for the past couple years now. It's been a long time. But there's always been one ginormous debate throughout the entire community. Should NBA 2K be more realistic, or should they go for the more arcadey style? Now before I continue, I need you to have these two questions in the back of your head. What is the core identity of NBA 2K? Now, in simpler terms, this question is asking, should the game prioritize fun and accessibility, which is arcadey, or authentic basketball replication, which is sim? Is it possible to please both sides? Now, the second question I'd have to ask you is, does realism always equal better gameplay? At what point does excessive realism, like fatigue systems or strict physics, RNG-based shooting, at what point does it make the game less enjoyable? Now, on the contrary, does too much arcade freedom, like unrealistic dunks or fast dribbling, does that break immersion? Do you want to be fully immersed in this game? Since this argument's been going on for years now, I figure I'd assess both sides of the argument, and then at the end, I'll give you my personal opinion. Now, learning from experience, I know that Sim's arguments usually goes around these 3 points, right? Point A being, they want that authenticity. They want to be immersed inside the game. This usually comes from the admiration that they see in the actual NBA games, like on TV, with the footwork, the play styles, and the strategy. They like that is separate from the arcade games. They usually argue that if every shot went in and defense didn't matter, it'd just be NBA Jam. Like fun, but not what longtime fans signed up for. By the way, don't forget to like this video, share, and subscribe. That helps me out a lot, y'all. Now, the second argument that I usually see a lot is skill should matter more than cheese, right? Now, in this argument, it's usually stated how arcade gameplay often rewards exploits. The exploits like endless threes or unrealistic dunks. On the sim side of things, they want a simulation approach because it forces players to actually learn basketball IQ, like shot selection, defensive positioning, and that way it's more rewarding than mindless button mashing. And the third and final argument I often see, bro, is realism extends longevity. So basically, an arcade game gets old fast, right? But a deep realistic sports sim stays engaging for years. And this is usually talking about franchise modes, realistic trades, and player progression. And they're talking about how this keeps hardcore fans hooked, right? And if 2K goes full arcade, it's probably gonna lose its depth. Now that's it for the simulation argument. I need you guys to add anything that I might have missed inside the comments, but that's usually what I see when I talk to you guys, when you guys comment on some videos. I see this and I add it all up and I threw it inside the vid, right? If it's anything else that you want me to add in there, yo, or you think I missed, toss it up inside the comments, all right? All right, next we're gonna talk about the arguments that I commonly see coming from the arcadey side of the NBA 2K community, right? Now, on the contrary, those on the opposite side, those on the arcadey side of this community, they say that chasing realism will actually hurt the fun in NBA 2K. This brings us to their first argument, right? And that's realism slows down the game. It's mentioned that hyper-realism makes the game feel extremely sluggish. In real life, basketball has stoppages, fatigue, imperfect animations, but in a video game, that can all feel extremely frustrating. Bulls don't want to watch their players stumble after a slight bump or miss open shots because of realistic RNG. Games should prioritize smooth, responsive gameplay over mimicking every flaw. The second most common argument that I always see is accessibility matters, right? And that's basically speaking on how not everyone is a hardcore basketball fan, right? Some players just want to dunk on their friends or pull off crazy combos. If 2K leans too far into realism, casual players get left behind. Remember NBA Street? Sometimes over-the-top fun beats strict simulation. Now, the third argument is usually bad realism feels worse than good arcade. And this is basically speaking about how 2K's realism often means fake difficulty. An example of this is like missing layups or AI cheese, or animations overriding a player's input. And that basically means not having full control of your player. And basically this argument explains how important it is to have full control as the player. Now personally, I've been playing 2K from its very arcadey stages all the way up to this realistic stuff that they're trying to push out now. And just from that statement alone, you should be able to tell that I am not too much of a fan of the realism, and here's why. The Czar, an NBA 2K developer, had something to say about this, and this is what I base my whole argument off of. He said part of the difficulty is more realistic movement equals less user control. When we make it more realistic, users complain about the game feeling stiff because you have to wait for the foot plant or ball positioning to change directions. In a video game, control is king, which conflicts realism. In the beginning of this video, I asked you to keep two questions in the back of your head. The first one was, what is the core identity of NBA 2K, right? And the second one was, does realism always equal better gameplay? Now, I need to answer these questions right now, and you'll understand where I'm coming from. I strongly believe that NBA 2K should prioritize having an arcadey type gameplay, bro. Fun and accessibility. That right there rules video games, bro. Not realism, not trying to punch IQ into everybody's heads, bro. Sometimes bulls just want to pick up and play, bro, and enjoy themselves. Because the casuals make up over 90%, right? And there's no issue with being a casual. That's the first thing, right? I want you to understand that. Bulls want to get home, pick up the sticks, and enjoy themselves. Pause. Wow, that sounds bad. But they just want to be able to fully control their players. But with the realism and what that does, bro, you're not able to fully control your player. The dev just said that in a tweet. Go back, look at the tweet, bro. You're not able to fully control your player because now you're waiting for foot plant and all the other things he described inside that tweet. That's the huge issue. And depending on when you're watching this, bro, right now, it's NBA 2K25. This game, it's very stiff. It's an issue. People aren't dribbling anymore. There's none of that. Defenders are having struggles because they're stuck inside random animations. It's forced difficulty, like I mentioned earlier in the video. People are randomly missing open layups. I've seen so many airball layups, it's actually ridiculous. The green window switches depending on how many times you shoot a three. So now you have to take like a mid-range or get an assist or take a layup or a dunk in order to be able to shoot again, right? It's RNG, and RNG inside a video game such as this is not okay. Bro, bulls want to get to the crib and be happy that you remember your jump shot and not be pissed that you got to jump through hoops in order to green on a freaking video game, you mean? And I feel like that's a big thing in this community. I'm gonna end it with this for the second question, right? Excessive realism destroys, and I mean completely obliterates the game, right? I want to see bulls coming out and having all the, bro, I don't care if I'm losing as long as I can watch something tough, right? If I see a lockdown that's not reaching, but you extremely fast, bro, I'm gonna be irked because if you locking me up like that, bro, but it's gonna be fun to watch. It's stuff like that, bro. I want to be able to enjoy it, bro. I want to be in awe, right? In NBA 2K19, I used to sit in the corner watching bulls, these ginormous guards. Bulls would be like 6'7", 6'8", pulling off the craziest moves up and down the court. And I would enjoy seeing that, right? I would enjoy that. That's what pushed me to want to start dribbling, right? The realism, let that stay on other games, you mean? I believe Ghost Recon, that right there is a game that strives and it succeeds off of realism. Bulls want to get on the game and have fun. I'm speaking for the casuals out there. I want bulls to be able to get on here, man, and be completely creative, because nowadays everything's so limited. It's sad to say, but bro, there's no diversity, and a part of that is just the community's fault, right? Everybody will copy off of everybody else, right? But bro, there used to be creativity inside the community, bro. More than it is now. It just keeps dwindling every single time a new 2K pops up, because every new 2K, everything slows down. And that's the big issue, right? It's an issue. I don't like it. I don't like the direction NBA 2K is going in. We're not even going to mention the microtransactions and how much they are upping all the VC prices and forcing bulls to pay that amount. I'm not even going to address that, bro. The main thing right now is realism is going to destroy the game. And the only way that you'll possibly be able to stand out is if you click on this video and see some new SIGs that other people aren't using.